Alright, good hooligans, Infinity War. It's out. Let's get a review. But, no worries, this is going to be a non-spoiler review. If you're looking for spoilers,
this is not going to go the way you think.
Alright, I made sure to put the notes and everything in my phone so I don't forget anything. You know what? Because it's actually a shorter list of criticisms than positives, let's get the criticisms out of the way, then finish this off with like the positives. So with like a lot of Marvel movies, at least for me, it's hit or miss with the jokes. With this, I actually felt that some scenes, like, it kind of took away from the emotional weight of the scene itself, because it was kind of ended with a joke, or they tried to end it on like a humorous end. And again, that all depends on your sense of humor and everything, but for me personally, I felt that some of the jokes just didn't really work, and it kind of took away from the emotional like weight of the scene. If you haven't seen if you haven't seen most of the Marvel movies leading up to this, you're gonna definitely feel lost in some places. Like, granted, this isn't supposed to be a kind of like a standalone film. This is like the movie that has been worked up to, but not everybody like does that with movies, you know what I mean? They see Infinity War, they might be familiar with some of the characters, so like, let's check it out. But some areas, if you haven't seen certain movies, you definitely will feel a little lost going in. In the comics with Thanos' character, he has this relationship with Mistress Death. The Russo brothers have talked openly about changing Thanos, whatever you want to pronounce it as, changing his motivation, and I don't know, I would have really liked to see that Mistress Death interpreted somehow on film. Proxima Midnight, the Lady of the Black Order, in some scenes, she had like a Hela look to her, from Thor Ragnarok. I don't know if it's because they were just done very like close between each other, so like similarities can cross over, but yeah, some scenes just she had the Halo look, or Hela, whatever you want to pronounce it as. Come on. Overall, the CGI was good. In some scenes though, it definitely felt like it was lacking, and also, like, I don't know, the one character, I can't remember his name right now, of the Black Order, the CGI could have been a little bit better, especially when we see other movies or shows doing it a lot better than like we see in certain characters of these big budget movies. I'm not saying it only happens to Marvel, it happens to other ones too. But yeah, it's just overall the CGI was good, but in some scenes it definitely, I don't know, it didn't feel like it was all the way there. You know what I mean? One thing I thought was weird, it's not as bad as Henry Cavill's like mustache removal. I'm pretty sure they did reshoots or like added scenes, whatever, but Cap's beard changes in a couple of scenes, and I can't help but notice. Cause like one scene it'll be one way, the next scene it's different, and like you can tell, like one is definitely more grown than the other. And those are just like little, like small criticisms I had. These are all just my personal opinions. Let's get to the positives of the movie. For me, Josh Brolin stole the show as Thanos in this movie. Like, I wanted to see more of him. Like, anytime we were dealing with the Avengers or what, like the Guardians, whatever, like I wanted to see what Thanos was doing. You know what I mean? And with this movie, it was labeled basically as a Thanos movie. And it does feel like that in a lot of ways. It kind of feels like the situations that are going on are either leading into another like attack by Thanos or something like that, or it's dealing with like the repercussions of things. I don't know. Josh Brolin as Thanos is fucking awesome. I loved it. The reason he was so good as well is because he comes off with this confidence about him and the power. He's almost poetic in a way. He comes off like almost as like this Shakespearean villain. That's the only way I can really describe it. He just seems very wise, very calm about like what he's doing. You know what I mean? Ebony Maw, one of the Black Order, great villain. Loved it. I can't talk. I can't spoil anything. But there's one scene that I couldn't help but be like, oh, that's cool, because Doctor Strange technically would have used these in his other, like, can't get into it. Okay, very, very, very minor spoiler. Bruce Banner and the Hulk, the kind of dynamic that you see play out in the movie, I really liked seeing this. This was actually one of like my favorite bits of the whole movie, to be honest. Spidey and Iron Man, like Tom Holland, I love him as Spider-Man. He comes off as like this teenager who's just grown up seeing all these heroes, and now he gets to actually be a part of it. For him and Tony, it really does feel like a father and son relationship. It's just, that was really cool to see. It's kind of almost like Tony, without even really like realizing it, it's kind of like become an adoptive father figure to him. You know what I mean? I won't go into specifics about it. All I'll say is Groot, I loved him. Thor and Star-Lord, like when their first interactions with each other, oh my goodness. Chris Pratt as like a comedic actor, like that's where I feel like that's where he shines, and he got to do that in like with his interactions with Thor and everything. So that was really cool to see, and that was definitely a lot of the like some of the humor that for me definitely hit. Some of the fight scenes, like with Marvel, it's, you know, you see a lot of CGI and there's different creatures and a lot's going on. But for me, a lot of the close-up combat between two different characters, those are really well done. And again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying with the whole Iron Fist show. Like, we've been spoiled with movies like John Wick and like the shows like The Punisher, and like you can't really get away with like having super choreographed things. Like we want to be able to see the actors doing these like fight scenes and stuff, like when they're actually close within each other, you know what I'm saying? Close proximity of each other is what I should have said. So all in all, it was a great Marvel event. And I call it an event because it was leading up to this. You know, it does like as its own movie. Like the thing is, it's not designed to be a standalone film, but as its own movie, if you're not someone who's like a hardcore Marvel fan of the franchise or whatever, it definitely I don't know. You can look at it like two ways. It's either kind of confusing because you don't really know what's going on with the characters, and Thanos kind of has some like mysterious mystique about him in a way. But yeah, so like as a standalone film, I can see why some people would be like, well, I don't know about this one. But as like this thing that has been 10 years like in the making and building up to it, it paid off for it, for sure. It definitely wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like, I really enjoyed this movie, I really did. You folks should definitely check it out if you're a fan of the Marvel movies. And it will strike a many chords with you, fans. I'm not spoiling the fucking ending. I'm not spoiling nothing. All I'm gonna say is this movie is going to strike a lot of chords with you folks. Whether it's excitement because you see these two heroes together, just a fight scene that got me super like excited like in the beginning, or the way the ending. Oh my goodness, folks. And I don't mean post-credit. I mean like before, like oh goodness, folks. I can't even spoil it for you. So bam, quick non-spoiler review for you folks. Infinity War. Go watch it if you get a chance, if you're a fan of the Marvel movies. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment below. As long as it's positive, I read them all. Give you a little thumbs up or I click the heart, show it some love. Check out all of the other content on the channel as well. Vlogs, short films, podcasts, there's tons of stuff, good folks. If you want to support the channel in any way other than giving me your beautiful time, links are in the description.